Hey everybody, this is Bradley Benner with Semantic Mastery, and today I have Marco on with me. It's just the two of us. We're here to talk shit and answer some questions and talk about the local Powerhouse combo for 2018. So first and foremost, what's up, Marco?
What's up, dude?
This will be fun, guys. This is nothing formal. Essentially, we're just doing basically a product bundle for the first time ever of three of our best products for ranking and lead generation in the local space. And so we're basically just going to be talking about each one of the products that are part of the bundle. It's our three top products for this. And so we're just going to talk about each one of them, kind of show the dashboard of each member's area, go through some of the kind of training in each one of these and how all of these methods kind of integrate with each other to really just dominate local search and generate a shit ton of leads. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So again, it's nothing formal. Go grab something cold to drink, turn off stuff that's going to distract you, and just relax and have a good time. Ask us some questions about anything at all during the webinar. Just post right on the event page and we'll get to them. Marco, do you have anything you want to say before I kind of just start getting into stuff?
No, other than this shit works, period.
There you go. Enough said. All right, cool. So I guess let me first and foremost, guys, like I said, this is not going to be, hey, Scott and Robin, what's up, guys? I'm looking at the event page. Guys, if you want, go ahead and post on the event page. Let us know that you're here. And again, if any questions come up, just feel free to post them. One of us ought to be looking at the page most of the time, and we'll just jump right in. Again, there's not really any formal training, so feel free to post your questions at any time. I'm going to grab the screen, and we're going to get into these. Okay, so what we're going to do, guys, is just walk through the three products of this bundle. For those of you that are impatient, any of you that, shit, what's going on with Firefox? It's being dumb. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Well, Firefox is frozen on me for some reason. Shit. All right. I could try to do. Well, stand by, guys. I'm going to pause the screen and figure out what the hell happened to Firefox. It just crashed on me, so. Shit. All right, well, Marco, start talking about the three products while I figure this out, if you don't mind.
All right. So let me just go right into, these are three different products, right? But they work so well together that we figured we just as well, we might as well make a bundle, because the power that you could stack. And if all of you who know me and who have heard me speak, you know that I'm always talking about power. I no longer talk about trust flow, citation flow, domain authority, page authority, and all that bullshit. Why? Because those are third-party metrics. What I concentrate on is what Google tells me. And I know that Google is still playing with PageRank. They still look at PageRank. It's one of the best metrics that you can build up over time for ranking purposes. And I know that there's a quality score patent. Excuse me, your ranking, the ranking score patent. Ranking score is built up through PageRank, and then a whole bunch of other metrics that I haven't been able to determine. But I have been able to determine enough so that we can build it up. We can build up PageRank, and we can build up a ranking score. How do we do this? Seed sites, you've heard me talk about this before, seed sites and seed sets. And what we do is we either become seed sites or seed sets, or we go close enough to a seed site or to a seed site to become part of that seed set. We become, we're leeches, man. We're power leeches. We go in there and we just siphon power from whomever. And so that's what I've been concentrating on ever since the Rank Your Shit Academy, the original, August of 2015. Is going on 3 years, man. The original RYS Academy. And what I concentrated on, again, was just straight power. How do I build enough power so that I take advantage of everything that Google is doing? Well, the way to do it is to go inside Google, find a way inside Google, and then manipulate Google to the point where you start siphoning off power from Google. One of the things that we began seeing, along this journey is it has been almost a 4-year journey, because I was working in the original RYS Academy long before it was publicly released in August. I was working for at least a year, maybe more. We can go back to November when I talked to Mike, and I had been exploring in the summer of 2014. So talk about 4 years that I've been at this, looking at patents, looking at what Google's going, and then trying to intercept Google at some point in the future, which is kind of, it's kind of difficult to do. It's kind of difficult to take a look and see where Google's going, and to try to intersect somewhere in there so that when it hits, you're already there. One of the things that we were able to see, and that I was looking at, and again, serendipity is the best thing in the world, because you run across stuff that you didn't even plan on, and it just so happens that this thing you come across is what's happening. It is what's doing it. And what I began working on was inside Google My Business, and I began doing it for an attorney in New York City. And if any of you have ever done personal injury law, right, try to get leads, you know that it's cutthroat. You know that if you go into the pay-per-click side of this, if you run ads, you're running ads that are, your budget has to be really high in order to be able to compete. Well, I wanted a way to compete without having to spend all that money, because the attorney just didn't want to budge. She didn't want to do anything. She didn't want to do anything to hurt her brand. She didn't want to do anything to hurt her image, because hers is a boutique firm. And what she does is she handles all of the accident claims that come through one of the big rental car companies. So she has that in New York City. So she told me there's no way that I can do anything that could possibly harm my brand. And so just in looking and trying to close this client, because I was just interested in seeing if I could rank in New York City. Well, ranking is the easiest part. It's getting leads. So I knew that if I got her leads, she'd get excited. At any rate, I noticed that her Google My Business listing was unclaimed. She had not claimed it. And that was my foot in the door, because my idea is I wanted to test, but I wanted to be paid for testing. I don't like just testing and then not get paid for my time. I knew I was going in the rabbit hole. I was seeing results from an affiliate GMB that I was running. I wanted to try to replicate it, and we started working on it. And here we are. What was it? Around December we began. This is July, and she's at over 200 calls a month in personal injury. Now, each one of those calls potentially is $15,000 as a retainer, because she doesn't do well, she will do a percentage of whatever the claim is, but if she sees that it's kind of shaky, then she will ask for a retainer. But in any case, whatever it is that she's going to make $15,000 to $25,000 from a lead that she closes, and I'm getting her over 200 a month. So you guys do the math and how much money she's making there. But along this journey, what we found out is that Google is paying special attention to Google My Business listing, to verified listings. And it's obvious why. If we're in the semantic web of things and Google is going after entities, then there is no entity that Google is going to trust more than a verified Google My Business listing, because it's an entity within the Google ecosystem, as Bradley and I have referred to it before. And so we began working on it. We began working inside the ecosystem, and I began trying different things. Nothing that I thought was going to hurt. Like she didn't want a T1 branded, so we didn't do a syndication network. She didn't want any SEO on her website. Fortunately, Google gives me a website in the Google My Business listing. She didn't want to, of course, if there's no syndication network, there are no posts. Fortunately, Google gives me the ability to post on the Google My Business listing, and those posts appear on that in that business site. So everything that I couldn't do, it just happened to fall into place. And all of the different things that I kept trying kept working. And we got those. If you guys haven't seen it, if you're not familiar with it, sometimes you get spikes in calls where you see 15, 20, 25, 40. I've heard people say over 40. I've seen 75 in one day. So can you imagine you flood someone with 75 calls? In fact, we have a case study where the client told one of our guys, one of our members, stop the fucking calls. I can't handle them. I can't do this. So the best problem that a business could have is too many clients. Right? You can't serve them all. But it happened with the attorney. Rather than turning them down, what we did is we hired more people to handle the phones. When if she gets a referral for something that she does not do, and she will not do quite a few things, then we found other attorneys who will take her calls. So she sells calls to other attorneys. She can't sell leads, but she can sell referrals and call. I know it's semantics, but that's the way New York law works. So what we're seeing is inside Google My Business is Google displaying. Now, there's some software that Bradley shared just recently. I can't remember where it was that you shared it. I think it was an update webinar where you can go actually to the latitude and longitude and try to find.
Yeah, it was a free software from Chad Kimball. Let me see if I can find the link for it, guys, and I'll drop it on the event page because I'd like to talk a little bit about that strategy too. And I'll let Marco finish. So, but once you do, Marco, remind me to complete this thought because using that software, I've already started to snipe some local listings using GMB Pro, and then obviously local PR Pro to kind of force them into the 3-pack. So we'll talk about that in a minute. I'm sorry, carry on.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm using that differently. I'm using that to see whether the attorney displays for the geolocations around her radius, the radius that she works from. And the interesting thing is I'm not finding her in the 3-pack. Well, I do in some, but it's hyper competitive. People are paying for ads and all these other things. So I'm wondering, why in the world is she getting all of these calls, and where is she getting them from? She's not in Maps. So it's obvious. Well, she's not, but she is. It's obvious that Google displays her ahead of the people that are already in the 3-pack at certain times for whatever reason, someone looking for something specific, a question that we're answering. And we see we've done so much relevance tying her from where she is to the court complex in New York City, because family court is there, criminal court is there, all of the Supreme Court is there. And we're seeing just a ton of calls in that area. So it's people coming out, needing an attorney, or going in and needing an attorney, looking for an attorney, and she gets displayed. We've been there. I've been in those coordinates around where we get those calls, around where we get those requests for directions, but she's not there. She just got displayed at the time that the person was looking for whatever that person was looking for. I mean, it's a great tool, but that's how I'm using it. You know how we always flip the way that we use tools other than the way that they were intended. This is my way of using this tool to my advantage to see, what's being displayed. Let's say for those keyword terms, what's being displayed for maybe some of the questions that someone might ask, someone who's in trouble with the law. What do I do about paying back child support? How can I get out of it? Just a whole bunch of things that I know that we're getting displaced for, but it's not a steady ranking, right? You'll always see the same 3 ranking in the 3-pack, and she's getting displaced. She's getting just huge amounts of visits, right, to her website, and tons of requests for direction, because of course she does serve people at her address, at her office. One of the things that we agreed upon, this attorney and I, was she had to ask a question: where did you find us, in her intake form, because I wanted to track everyone that I could. You know, the phone numbers, we have a tracking phone number, so that anyone clicking on anywhere on that click to call, it's the same thing as the same number on her website, so we know the exact call volume. And I can tell you that the insights are inaccurate, but they're inaccurate in a good way, because they'll tell you like a third less of the volume that you're actually getting.
Yeah, and if I can comment on that briefly, it's because, at least my understanding, and I may be completely wrong on this, is that it's really tracking mobile activity. And so you'll get desktop activity, but I don't know that Insights tracks that. Am I right on that or wrong?
Yeah, because click to call on desktop, you have to have it set up,
right,
so that when you click, it'll call. If you don't have it set up, you'll lose that. But they'll likely ask for directions, or they'll just dial.
Right, which is why I'm grabbing the screen for a minute just to show, because as part of the, and then guys, I will get into each one of these products, just to kind of show you the dashboard, and then we'll talk about how they all integrate. I was letting Marco finish his story, but this is the business that I set up for. Well, it's a real business, but I'm using for the case study inside of local GMB Pro. And what Marco was just saying was, for example, this is showing that there was 173 exposures of the maps listing in the last month for this business. This business doesn't even have a website. Well, it has the GMB website, but that's it. What I'm saying is everything done on this so far has been done just in the GMB dashboard. And I've done 2 press releases as well. But you can see that out of 173 exposures, being exposed 173 times in maps, it got 80 actions, which is about what, 48%, something like that, roughly 45 to 50% ish actions. 39 of which are calls. 41s are visit to the website, but those are tap to calls that this is tracking. So if somebody actually goes to the website or looks at the phone number from the search results, and then calls by dialing instead of doing a tap to call, or if they're on a desktop and they pick up their mobile and they call, but they didn't do the search on their mobile, if that makes sense, none of those track. So Insights is really just tracking direct click activity, which can be a tap to call as well, if that makes sense. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And again, those people on desktop, they're likely to click on directions, right? Since they can't call, or they'll save the number and call later, which is why you want to be able to track that number. You don't want to, if you're getting paid per lead and you don't have exact tracking, guys, you're leaving money on the table. And I don't like to give away money. I like to be paid every penny I got coming, which is why I always insist I need access to everything. I need this to be transparent. And you know what? If the client balks at being transparent, that to me is a red flag. You gotta say, ho, wait a minute. Why wouldn't you want to give me numbers? Why wouldn't you want to give me access to all of these things that I need to know what I'm supposed to be getting paid? So it's one thing to look at. But anyway, long story short, we came up with Google My Business. I talked to Rob, my partner in crime. I said, hey, look, I'm getting these results. Can you replicate? He went and tried it. and of course, he was able to replicate it. Then we reached out to Brian Burkhart, right, Costello, because we know that he's an action taker. Or Rob reached out to him. He applied it. And within like 10 days, he told us he was already ranking #1 in the 3-pack for most of his keyword terms, and he wasn't sure what good it would do. We'll try it, and he was able to double his call volume.
Yeah,
I mean, double the call volume.
Let me reemphasize that, guys. He was already ranking #1 in maps when he started applying, or in an A position, #1 position in the 3-pack for his primary keyword, plus several others, because he's been applying, our methods for quite some time. So he's been crushing his local area. He runs a pest control business, like a rodent control business. And so all he did was apply the local GMB Pro methods to an already #1 ranked listing, and he doubled his call volume in like what, 10 days or something? It was ridiculous.
In a matter of 10 days, he said the call tracking was only showing something like 55 calls, but he actually got over 100.
That's crazy.
And so his phone was just ringing off the hook, and he just started applying it to everything else, because that's what Brian does. He's a go-getter. He's an action taker, and that's the kind of people that we love. If you go into our Facebook group, guys, and you see the kind of results that people are getting, I mean, it's ridiculous. The course pays for itself over and over and over and over again.
Okay, so with that said, can we go ahead and start showing off the members areas and all that stuff?
Yeah, show what's in there.
All right, guys. So this is really our trifecta for local rankings, for just local success, local marketing success, because that comes in a number of different forms, right? Think about it. It comes in rankings, it comes in exposure, it comes in branding, it comes in leads, right? These are all the things that are super important for local businesses, whether it's your own or if you're doing client, providing, client services or whatever, or your own lead gen businesses, whatever it is. There's 3 components to this. There are the real quick components that can get almost overnight results, which I consider, and Marco may think differently, but I consider that to be local GMB Pro and local PR Pro. Here's the difference. Local GMB Pro is specifically for, well, let me start with local PR Pro because I've got this one open first. Local PR Pro is a method that I started testing really to disprove, like the original theory for me. The reason why I started testing using press releases for ranking in the local 3-pack was because I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with Press Cable, right? With Chris Munch and Press Cable. And, he does, Press Cable is a good distribution service. I use that among others. We have 2 distribution services in our marketplace, SerpSpace.com, and I use those primarily, but I also use Press Cable and I use Newswire.net. I use a variety of press release distribution services. However, Press Cable, I was on Chris Munch's email list, and I remember he sent out some emails talking about using press releases to rank in the 3-pack. And so originally I was like, you know what? I've heard about this, but I don't believe it. I'm gonna test it. And so I set up a couple of a test with just a single landing page, literally a 1-page landing page website. It was built on ClickFunnels, which if anybody uses ClickFunnels, it's very hard to manipulate the SEO elements of a ClickFunnels page. So it was literally a test to see what I could do with just press releases, basically 100% off page, right? It was just a page that had my keywords on it. It was a landing page, very little content. It was an opt-in box, a video, contact information. And then I said, I'm going to go ahead and register a GMB profile, get it, verified, and see if I can rank it in the 3-pack for my desired keywords. And it wasn't a super competitive area, but it also wasn't just like a slam dunk, like no competition type area either. It was kind of a mid competition. And within 4 press releases, I was able to get into the 3-pack. It was a tree service site, and there's 5 primary keywords that I target, and I was able to get into the 3-pack for 3 of my 5 keywords within 4 press releases. And then within doing then I started testing on other properties in various configurations. In other words, some were single page websites, some were full silo websites, some were siloed websites with syndication networks and consistent blogging, some weren't. So I started testing this method across lead gen properties, and then once I started getting repeatable results for my own properties, then I started testing with some of my client properties as well. I got the permission, said, hey, I'm testing a new method. It's been working really well. I'm seeing great results. I'd like to apply it to your campaign. Is that something you're interested in testing with me? And they'd say, yeah, some of them said yes. Started applying it to them. Same thing, guys. I started getting crazy results where I was able to rank. I mean, I did this on 15 properties. And out of 15, I had 12 of them that I was able to apply this method to and get into the 3-pack within 6 press releases. That's an 80% success rate with just 6 press releases or less. If that makes sense, guys. Think about that. That's freaking fabulous. And so I had started like developing different ways of using press releases, what I call the PR stack. And, it's various internal or like there's ways that you can basically like almost silo press releases. You can do internal linking. There's a whole bunch of really cool stuff that you can do. It also matters like what type of targets you're using as that you're building links to within the press releases. But here's the thing. Local PR Pro can help maps rankings. Like it's incredible how fast you can push into a 3-pack, even in competitive areas. I'm not saying this is the magic bullet, guys. It has been for most of my most sites or properties that I've applied this to. It has been freaking amazing. However, uber competitive stuff, you're going to need to pull out other guns too, your other weapons from your arsenal, such as local GMB Pro. Well, for ranking purposes, local GMB Pro, yeah, it does help, but that's not what we're using local GMB Pro for. It's not for ranking, it's for leads. But RYS Reloaded, we're going to talk about that in a minute. That's another one. Syndication networks, you guys should all be familiar with that if you know Semantic Mastery. Blogging consistently, all that's important. Citation building, all of that stuff's important. And if you're in a competitive market, you're going to need to do some of that too. But what I'm saying is this is a method that works incredibly quickly and can work almost 100% on its own. And I've done it over and over again. In fact, many of my clients now that I have that have been existing clients for years, the only things that I do for them now is manage the content marketing, which is blogging on their blogs, which goes out to their syndication networks. There's still citation building, monthly citation building, and then press release. Most of my clients get 1 or 2 press releases published per month. And that's how I keep them ranked now, because it's just that easy, right? And so local GMB Pro, local PR Pro is all about using press releases to rank locally. And again, this is about SEO, ranking in the maps pack, getting SEO results from using press releases. Okay. And so there's process training in here, which talks about exactly how to put everything together. There's also the video training, which is basically all the video over the shoulder video training. And then lastly, there is the basically some training on how to arbitrage this stuff. And we're going to probably end up adding some more training in here for that over the next few months. Okay, don't quote me on that, but we think we're going to, because we've had a lot of members ask us, like, how can we sell this as a service and just arbitrage it, essentially have us do it for them, and then they just make the money in the middle, mark up the service. So we're working on the solution for that. All right. So that's local PR Pro, right? So again, that's about the SEO and getting pushed into the 3-pack. That's what, clients are used to wanting to see as rankings, that kind of stuff. That brings us over to local GMB Pro, though. Local GMB Pro.
Hey, Bradley.
Go ahead.
Hey, Bradley. Before you show local GMB Pro, let me share my screen.
Sure.
Because I want to show some results.
All right.
I don't want people to just think, okay, yeah, this is all talk. Let me just do this and then share my screen. Let me know when you see it.
I'm seeing it. Hopefully everybody else can as well.
Find out if everyone else is. I've got this layered over here because I don't want people to see who this is. What I do want people to see and focus on is this is a direct result. It's not correlation. This is causation from all the stuff that we were doing. And if you can see this is Beverly Hills, California. It's not a bullshit keyword and a bullshit place that we're ranking in. All right. Now, what I want you guys to take a look at is look at the rankings. Okay. Look at how many number ones this has. Just keep looking because I'll keep scrolling. Look at how many top 10s this has. Right. And then look at how many second page rankings, which in a second, these could be all first page rankings. Now, the problem with this idiot is I can't work on his CTR because he won't let me do his SEO. He doesn't like the price that I'm charging him. And he's just happy with the leads that he's getting through the local GMB Pro. Now, I try to explain to him that if we double the CTR, we could probably double the amount of leads that he's getting. And I've given him the whole pitch. He just doesn't want to do it. So look, this is without SEO, but this is what happens to rankings, guys, as a direct result, not correlation, but causation. As a direct result of applying local GMB methods, we were able to get, I mean, this is just countless. I mean, this is third page, but these would be dead simple. If he's at 300, I think at 400 something, no, it's way more than that. But only at 1.9, and if we were to double this, we'd be killing it. But he won't let me. All right. But this is just so you can see what you can do with local GMB Pro. So I'll stop sharing my screen now, and let you go on to what you were doing.
Yeah, Rob just posted this in Slack for me to post on the page. This is what did he say? Let's see, sorry guys, let me get back over here. This is from a person that tested on a brand new site. The process as well. Did not even have the site built yet. For some reason, can't post. Oh, he was just saying he couldn't post to the page. So he was showing, these were calls from GMB Pro, I believe. But to get back over to local PR Pro guys, you know, that's what I'm saying is it's crazy because traditionally that's what people are looking for is ranking. And we're going to talk about local GMB Pro here in a minute because forget rankings. It has nothing. Local GMB Pro method is about generating calls from the Google ecosystem, generating leads, excuse me, from the Google ecosystem, independent, regardless of ranking. Like,
Correct.
Does that make sense?
Correct. Yes, absolutely. But as a direct result of what you do inside GMB, what'll happen is that your rankings, both in the three pack,
oh, absolutely,
they'll all come up.
Yep.
It'll blow up, literally.
But and again, that's like a side benefit, or like, you know, an additional consequence of doing it which is awesome. But that's not the idea. Local PR Pro is about pushing the maps into the maps pack, right? Into getting your rank, your GMB to rank in the maps pack for your desired keywords. That's what local PR Pro is about. Now, conversely, and by the way, if you wanted to go buy local PR Pro guys, and this is why I'm showing this to you is because of the product bundle is a crazy discount. But if you wanted to buy this right now, you're going to pay $800 for local PR Pro. Okay. So now we're going to go to local GMB Pro. Local GMB Pro. This is about specifically using all of the free tools that Google gives us inside of Google My Business, which they've been adding more and more tools almost weekly now. They're adding new tools. And they're still updating. Like just last week, they rolled out more updates where now the posts indexes into inner pages. The GMB posts are indexing like inner pages of a website would. It's crazy. There's so much stuff that they're doing. They've updated their redirect URLs from 302s to 301s now. So there's a lot of really cool SEO stuff we can do with that. We've got so much. We've been working on this local GMB Pro stuff. Now, Rob and Mark have been working on it for months. I've only been working on it for like, I don't know, 6 or 8 weeks. Because all I'm doing is taking their instruction. I'm doing a little bit of testing on my own, but mostly it's those guys because I don't really have a lot of time to play around in the lab like they do. So they've been providing me with instructions. I've been doing a little bit of testing on my own, but I'm just implementing what they're showing me. And what's crazy is we're seeing, like, even though it's been months, we've only scratched the surface. And it's in part because Google keeps adding new features and they keep making the existing features even better, if that makes sense. And so what we're doing with local GMB Pro is we're able to, by providing activity and properly optimizing and internal linking. So we're doing a lot of like basically siloing within GMB and all this other stuff that we're doing. Plus we also talk about some external stuff that we can do to help get better results, but we're able to show almost instant results for a business and show an increase in web traffic, an increase in leads, phone calls, leads, clicks to website, all of that. And it's done. And again, it's almost done overnight. And forget about SEO. Yes, we do talk about how to add SEO stuff that we do to local GMB Pro. So it's not like we don't talk about SEO in local GMB Pro, but just it's hard to kind of, all of us that are traditional SEOs guys, I know it's kind of tough for us to wrap our minds around this, but we can prove over and over and over again that even if the rank trackers aren't showing the maps listing in the 3-pack, we can show a significant increase week to week, week over week of calls, maps exposure. So again, we come back over to this screen that I was showing you earlier. We can show over and over again, like right now, if I was to pull up the rank report for this guy, for Mario's cab service and show you the keywords that I'm tracking, we're only in the 3-pack for, I think, like 4 out of like 20 keywords that I'm tracking. Okay. But yet we're getting 170 plus exposures of maps listings per week, or excuse me, per month. And in this case, we've had 80 actions, direct actions. And those are direct actions, which means they're tracking mobile activity. Desktop activity isn't being tracked like it's not as accurate as it is on mobile devices. So my point is, even though we're not showing in the 3-pack through traditional rank trackers, and here's the thing about that, guys, search has changed so much. The way that search results are being displayed to the individual user is so much different than it was even 2 years ago. And that's because of the onset of like mobile, the prevalence of mobile devices and mobile searches. And Google is trying to personalize search results. They've been talking about this since Google's inception, guys. Larry Page stood up on, one of the co-founders of Google stood up on a stage like 15 years ago or whenever. It was right after they had launched. And he talked about how Google's goal was to end search, and that and his vision of the future was that everybody's search result will be absolutely unique to them. So if you have two people sitting side by side on their mobile devices and they search the same exact query and they're sitting side by side, so they're in the same location and everything, their search results could look for the same search query could look vastly different, right? And the reason why is because Google is really trying to personalize search results. And I think that's where the GMB Pro method is really starting to come in, because we are using Google's tools that they're providing with us as early adopters. And we all know that Google always rewards early adopters. And because of the additional activity, and think about why, guys. Think about when you do a bunch of posts and you have a well-optimized GMB website, all of this data is displayed in the search result for the searcher, right? So the searcher can interact with your brand. They can post questions. They can send text messages for quick replies. They can tap to call. They can click through to your GMB website. They can do all of these things that keep them within the Google atmosphere, the Google environment, excuse me. So if we're using all of Google's tools, instead of sending them to an external website, so off of Google's platform, we're keeping all of the users in Google's platform, which means Google can serve them more ads, right? So my point is, like, this is why Google is rewarding us. And by us going in and learning how to do this, and again, this was hats off to Marco and Rob, because they're the ones that were able to put all this together and start testing this stuff. And we've just seen absolutely amazing results with it. So when you couple the GMB Pro training, which is about getting more leads directly from GMB, Google My Business, and then you couple that with Local PR Pro to get into the 3-pack for those of you that are looking for traditional rankings as well, because clients want to see, a lot of clients are conditioned to seeing that, right? That's what they ask for, is rank reports. You can do both of those with Local PR Pro and Local GMB Pro. And then for those that need the additional work, those that have websites, and the stuff that can be like the really tough terms, the really competitive stuff, that's where we add on the additional layer of RYS Reloaded. We'll get to that in a minute. Let me just show you the content that's in here so far. So this is the case study build out that I've been doing for Mario's cab service. And so you can see that, again, these are all the videos that I've added so far, guys. And I mean, there's a lot of lessons, and I keep adding to this. Every week I add at least a couple more lessons, because I go in and I play around and I test, or I implement something else that Marco and Rob have told me about. So this is by far not a complete course yet, because again, we've just scratched the surface. We're going to continue to add to this as GMB gives us more and more tools and we discover more stuff, right? Marco and Rob have lots of update webinars coming up. I'm just adding training to the members area. All right.
And before I forget, Bradley, one of the most important things about this is that it indexes almost immediately.
Yep.
And I know everyone is having a problem with indexing their web properties, right? It's become really, really difficult. Well, Google rewards you by indexing this shit immediately. Your posts, your images, everything. It goes right into the knowledge panel. Guys, we've tapped directly into RankBrain. That's what we've done. We've tapped directly into the freshest algorithm. How do we know? Google is indexing this almost immediately. I mean, the website, once you click on Google to build the website and you make it public, it indexes. Posts, once you click on the post to publish the post, you go and you look at it in the knowledge panel, and wham, there it is, almost immediately. Another thing that I want to add, and this is something that Bradley is referencing, he's constantly working on updating the training and adding new videos to the training. This is not rehashed bullshit.
No.
And I know that some of you guys got stuck in something else that you thought was going to bring you this. or this type of training, and it kind of went in another direction. Guys, this taps directly into Google My Business. This is Google My Business training, not some kind of off-site training where you have to do a million things to get results. On this, all you have to do is be active inside the Google My Business listing, and Google rewards you.
Yep.
That's how simple it is. Now, some of you might say, it's too easy. Well, no, the fuck it's not. That's the way that we intended it. That's the way. When I found out how easy it was, I said, I can either really make this really complicated and confuse people, or just present it in a way where it's really simple, and someone that's not even an SEO, that doesn't even know what the word SEO means, can come in and do it. That's the difference. The way that we did this is anyone can go in, work in Google My Business, do it the way that we say do it, and get results.
So guys, and here's the other part of this. Like, I've got templates in here that I've added, and I'll add more templates as we go. In fact, I've got my VA creating her own templates now. I've got a VA that does all this for me, and essentially that's I hound on it throughout the training, guys. You shouldn't be doing this shit on your own. You should hire a VA to do this because it's so inexpensive. I pay my VA $5 per post to generate these posts, and she loves it because these posts are so short and simple. Look at these. These are post templates right here, guys. Like that's a post. So she copies and pastes and swaps out these tokens with the client, company name, service keyword, that kind of stuff, and boom, she's done, and she gets paid $5. This is one of my curators that curates for my clients, right? She works for me, but curates on my clients' blogs. She does the blog posting for my clients. I pay her $15 for a curated post. It takes her 30, 40 minutes to curate a good post. I pay her $5 to copy and paste this shit and swap out tokens. What do you think she'd rather do? Think about it. And so my clients, I charge my clients $400 a month for this service, and I pay Esther, my VA, who does this for me. I pay her $5 per post, and they run anywhere between 16 to 24 posts per month per client. So you do the math. Think about besides a small amount of overhead for management and some software stuff that I use, we're talking about like a $250 margin of profit margin per client per month for doing this, guys. And I don't do it. She does it. Does that make sense? She does it for me. My VA does it. And she loves it because she can make $800 in 2 days scheduling all of my clients' posts, and she can do it in 2 days. And she can make $800, and that's a huge like, she's so excited about it. And as I keep onboarding, she's always asking, when are you going to add more clients? Because she wants to do more and more of this. So think about it. And that's what I'm saying. So there's guys, there are some process training and template stuff in here we will be adding to. Like I said, in fact, she's been developing her own templates. I need to get copies of them from her so that I can add them into the training. But essentially, I just wanted to kind of point out what local GMB Pro is compared to local PR Pro. Now you've got the ranking solution and then the lead gen solution for Google and Google Maps. Okay. Also, if you wanted to check this out individually, you can check it out. If you wanted to buy this separately, guys, you're going to pay $1,000. So right now we're talking about $1,800 for those two products if you were going to buy them separately. Lastly, we're going to get over into RYS Reloaded. I'm going to let Marco take this one mainly.
Before we get into RYS Reloaded, let me add that we do have a Facebook group, a very active Facebook group where we answer all kinds of questions about Google My Business as new things come up. We go in there and people discuss them. We had one guy, what's his name, talk about a group where you can exchange templates. So you can see how people are reporting what they're finding and everything that's going on. We have a webinar a week from today where I'm going to redo the unlimited local images. One of the things that people are having problems with is getting their clients to provide images, local images, but we solved that problem. Local images, local video, and local relevance, where that all goes hand in hand. Well, I solved that problem, and we're going to do a replay of the webinar on Tuesday. It's going to be done live, by the way. It's not just a webinar replay. We'll go over what was done, add a little bit more as always, and just show people how easy it is to get all of these things. If the client refuses, you can still do it.
That's it. So I was just showing you guys the local GMB Pro Facebook group. Yeah, it's very active, guys. It's crazy. So it's because everybody's excited because it's new, and you know, the we're all discovering still too. And what's great is when some of our members get in there and start testing and playing around, and they discover something and share it with us, guys. We certainly encourage that. You know, we always talk about in our mastermind, we learn as much from our students as they learn from us, and we mean that. So, you know, we like to set the foundation, kind of like lay a path, and then have everybody just take off and try to figure out what they can on their own, and then share it with us. And then we always try to give credit where credit is due, guys. So certainly encourage you to come check that out. And then lastly, like I said, we're going to get into RYS Reloaded. This, you know, it's really hard for me to talk about much about this because I haven't had time to go. The first course, RYS Academy, was so detailed and so in depth that I created you know, a case study for that. I also applied it to my own agency. Actually, before I even did a case study, when Marco first first told me about these RYS methods, was in May of 2015, guys. So that was over 3 years ago. And I immediately, it was on a Saturday, and I immediately dropped what I was doing. I was literally had like planned my whole Saturday to catch up on client work and all this stuff. But I remember Marco posted in Slack. I don't know. I don't even think we were using Slack at that time. It was probably Google Chat. But at the time he posted, hey, here's something I've been working on for months. I want you to go do this, apply this. And he just gave me a little bit of information. And I immediately dropped everything I was doing that day to start applying this. It was really just to test it, because I almost couldn't believe Marco because he was talking about how freaking amazing it was. And this was the original version of RYS. And the reason I started telling you this, guys, is because unfortunately I have not actually gone through all of the training in RYS Reloaded because they keep adding to it, and I haven't had time. And I'm still getting results from the first method, the first version of RYS Academy instead of the Reloaded version. So I really haven't switched up my process as much. I'm still using other than ordering drive stacks, done for you drive stacks from our builders who build the RYS Reloaded drive stacks now. I'm not really doing a whole lot different than what I learned from the first one. And again, it's only because I haven't had the time to go through all this. It's not because it's not amazing. But let me show you let me actually open up Firefox if it doesn't crash this time. And I'm going to clear all history. Not logged in. I just want to show you guys. So like, for example, if I say SEO Virginia, you're going to see, guys, I have a Google site ranked #1 in organic above maps. This is Big Bamboo Marketing. I know it's a horrid site, guys, but forget about that. Who gives a shit? I'm above maps, right? I'm not signed in or anything. I'm showing up #1 in maps. I've got videos ranking, guys. It's just, there's my main website, organic search, guys. All of this stuff has happened. And look at this, guys. This was published on May 16th, 2015. You guys see that? Just to prove it to you. This is not actually just a YouTube. This is not a YouTube video. This is a YouTube video published on WordPress.com, right? This is one of my syndication sites. It's bradleybenner.wordpress.com. Look at this, guys. This page has absolutely zero written content except for this right there. That is the only written content on this page. The rest of this page is embedded drive files, and it's ranked #2 organic for, or excuse me, it's ranked in videos, excuse me, the video carousel. It used to be #2 organic, but since the video carousels came out, it's ranked #1 in the video carousel, okay? With zero content on the page, guys, except for that line right there. So, and again, this was all published on May 16th, 2015. And for those of you that think that we've got some fancy backlink shit going on, I challenge you, go take these 2 URLs, go to Majestic or Ahrefs or whatever backlink analysis tool you look at and take a look at them. Tell me if you think I should be outranking all other SEO agencies in the state of Virginia with the backlink profile of either of these sites. Go look at my site, bigbamboomarketing.com, guys. It's a one-page site. It has no inner pages. It has no blog. I mean, I have a syndication network, but I haven't syndicated to it in probably 3 years, 4 years. I'm ranked #3 in organic. Think about that, guys. It's absolutely insane. And all of this stuff has been done. This is a one-page site. Like, again, all of these learn more buttons don't do anything but take you to the bottom of the page where there's a support request. Does that make sense? This is a one-page site, guys. That's it. There's no blog, nothing. And I'm ranking #3 in organic. Think about that. #1 in maps. And again, all of this has to do with using RYS Academy methods. And it's been over 3 years, guys, I've held this position, and I haven't done a damn thing to change any of it. And that's one keyword. I mean, we've got, many keywords that rank for the, I rank well for a lot of SEO type agency keywords. Okay. So again, I'm going to let Marco talk a little bit more about the actual RYS Academy Reloaded course, because it's not something that I've spent a lot of time in. So Marco, go ahead, take it away, man. But you see how much training's in here? It's ridiculous. Are you there? Are you muted?
Yeah, no, I'm here. I was just waiting for you to go into the archives.
Oh, let's go back. Right here?
Because the original training is all in there.
Yeah. I mean, guys, there's so much training in here. It's ridiculous. This is one of those courses where it's going to take you a while to get through everything. But I mean, look at this, guys. This is the advanced section. I mean, there's so many sections and so many lessons in each section. It can be overwhelming, but my idea, we always talk about, if you're going to be doing a lot of this stuff, there's a couple ways to do it. One would be, those of you that like to tinker and learn this kind of stuff on your own, then go through the course. But those of you that just want to implement it into your business to get better results for your business or your clients or both, whatever, then we recommend you either just hire the done-for-you services from us, understand how it all works. So go through the training, because it'll make you better at understanding how all the components work together. But you can hire us to build your networks or your drive stacks, or you can hire a VA to do it in-house and put them through the training. We encourage that, guys. Put them through your training, your account, to go through the training, and have them start building them in-house for you. That's honestly the best way to do it. It requires you to have to hire a VA, train them, manage them, and all of that kind of stuff. But if you're proficient in doing that, the best way to do it is to hire an in-house builder, especially if you're going to be implementing this kind of stuff, because you could hire the same person to build drive stacks, do local GMB Pro stuff, and even order your press releases. Because again, I highly recommend that you just order press releases instead of doing them yourself. So if I may, let me start this by saying that we did a webinar where one idiot asked, who has time to go through all those videos? And my first thought was, you're a fucking moron. Because if you don't have time to make money, then you're in the wrong fucking business. Because our business is all about training, applying the training, getting the results, making money, hiring VAs so you don't have to do all of this shit. Your VA will go through the process, through the training, and then they do it so that you can concentrate on going out and making even more money so you can hire more VAs. You see where I'm going? Yeah.
That's why I'm saying, if your thinking is, I don't have time for this shit, I don't have time for these videos, what the fuck, man? I mean, we had time to put it all together, and I'm telling you, we stay as busy as anyone else in the business. And I know that if we have time to do all this shit, to go in the lab, I mean, I've worked 18 hours a day for 30 days, literally, sometimes no sleep, trying to figure something out. So if you guys, let me quote CT Fletcher, who's one of my favorite people on the internet. Guys, you have to make it your magnificent obsession. Being successful has to be an obsession. And we're providing you a way. It's not the only way. I never said that other people don't have successful ways of making money. What I'm saying is we're providing you a proven way for you to become successful and scale your business. And if you don't have time for it, then go and do whatever it is that you have time for. You shouldn't even be on this webinar. Yeah. So having said that, let me just say that RYS Academy, the reason why we did Reloaded is because we had so much additional information. Because Rob came in, I brought Rob in, and he started just doing a ton of testing and just adding just a whole bunch of ninja tactics that made it better. That doesn't mean that if you had the original RYS Academy, it stopped working.
Yeah.
That's a little bit outdated, but the core concept, which is embeds and how Google treats these special sections of code, That's alive and well, and even better in 2018 than it was when we originally went in. When we originally went in, we didn't know. All we had was a guess at what was happening. Now we know. Now we have the patents. I've been through the patents. I've applied the math. I know what Google is doing, and I knew where it was going. And we met Google at the crossroads when it came out, and it said, this is what's going on with iframes and embeds. I'm not going to do a webinar. I do them for RYS Reloaded, and I do them for local GMB Pro. You're more than welcome to come in and catch the next webinar, which is going to be awesome. But the thing is, the methods are still working. What we added to it, and what Bradley added to it with that at ID page, where you loop the iframe, where you could just throw link building at it. Guys, we've tested 1 million links at a drive stack. And the drive stack, it took it all, and they said, oh, these are beautiful links. There was porn in there. Oh, these are beautiful. It's going to help rank whatever it was that we were working on. And the project that we were working on, which is plumbing in a major city in the U.S., we don't test.
It's right now #1 in maps for plumbing plus local modifier, and then plumber plus local modifier. It's like incredibly short tail, and it's ranked #1 in maps for both of those.
Correct.
Yeah.
And this is after taking 1 million backlinks. So imagine not only the power that this will push by getting 1 million links, cleaning it up, and pushing them through as if they were good links, but the SEO shield that you're creating, which is one of the things that we love about RYS Reloaded and Drive Stacks, is that you can build links into them, and the links, and they can be garbage links, they can be GSA, and they come out pristine. They come out where, since we're using embeds and the power of embeds, and since we know that power flows both ways through the embeds, and it keeps going back and forth, then it's like we're just, again, it's like taking candy from a baby. If you apply these 3 methods, then where you go local PR Pro to your drive stack, which cleans it up and actually amplifies the power, into your GMB. I mean, this is something where you can literally take over a niche. I haven't needed it, to be honest, but I haven't gone after the really high power stuff, right? I'm getting enough call volume, and my clients are satisfied enough where I haven't needed to do it. But I do have one that I'm gonna start working with, who wants to go after all of the high powered stuff, and he wants his on-site, he wants everything, and so he's gonna get the full treatment and results. I don't even worry about results, because I guarantee results, or they don't pay me. I'm one, you can be one of the few people on the web who can actually guarantee results. You don't guarantee rankings. Listen to what I'm saying. You never guarantee rankings.
That's right.
You guarantee results. And this is one of the things where you can go in there with full confidence and say, I'm going to get you results. If I don't get you results, you give me 90 days. If I don't get your results, you stop paying me. Sure. And we wash our hands and we walk away. Nobody, I guarantee you that nobody's willing to do that. That's what you should be willing to do.
Yep. And so here's a few questions that I want to. Scott says, I guess Big G has been busy lately. In addition to GMB features you were discussing, they're rolling out a bunch of changes to AdWords next week. Yes, that is correct. I've already gotten, I manage a whole bunch of AdWords accounts as well. And so my inbox has been lit up with those emails. So yeah, they're calling it Google Ads now instead of AdWords. They're rebranding and all that, which is good, guys. They're evolving. That's the nature of our business. Next one is, if Google is personalizing search results, then are ranking reports behind the times and necessarily inaccurate? Bingo, Scott. It's exactly what I'm getting at. Now, there are rank trackers that are catching up. They're trying to stay ahead of the changes to the algorithm and how searches are being displayed, because there's so much local. There's so much. It has to do so much with where the user is, where they're located, what type of device they're on, all of that, right? And so even the rank trackers that are trying to stay up to date are still they're going to be more accurate than like more traditional rank trackers, where you can set like the searching location and things like that. But remember, even those aren't going to be as good as they're not going to display the results exactly as an individual searcher would see, because remember, an individual searcher has a search history. They have a profile. And the rank trackers, even if you can set the location at which they're searching from, and for example, I use Pro Rank Tracker. In fact, I've got Pro Rank Tracker up over here. So you can see I've got Pro Rank Tracker open, and I use that, guys, but I don't use it. I use it kind of as a general, to get a general idea of what my rankings are. But you can set like mobile devices. You can set your location where that's going to be searching. You can have it. You can have rank trackers. Some rank trackers check for organic local, three pack ranking, video ranking, or just plain organic. There's a whole bunch of different, like mobile search, maps pack search, like all these different things. Yet once again, even those that we can specify a lot of those details, it's not going to be the same as somebody searching from their mobile device that has a profile. Google has a stored profile on that user, which means their search results could be manipulated to suit their, like what they're most likely to click on, if that makes sense. So yeah, exactly, Chad. What you're saying is I think rank trackers still have their place, but I'm relying on them less and less as a result to quantify my activities or what kind of results I'm producing to my client. I'm relying more and more now on insights and analytics, right? And also, like if we're using call tracking numbers and such, using like just call analytics and such like that to be able to show my clients the results. Because again, whether even if your rank trackers aren't showing rankings, like with Mario's cab service, for example, yet he's still getting a bunch of phone calls. He's only got 4 keywords that are in the 3-pack out of like 20 keywords that I'm tracking. Yet the guy's getting 30, 40, 80 actions per month on his maps listing. How is that possible? Right? So
if I may add just a little bit to this, the moment that Google took the algorithm and especially for search results, mobile first, rankings kind of they're obsolete. Why? Number one, because the main factor is proximity. And so if your rank tracker cannot mimic proximity, you're not going to get accurate rankings, number one. And like Bradley said, number two, there is no history. That's when right. You're going in there, it's a fresh search. And that search is kind of inaccurate because, where are the cookies? Where are the websites that he's visited? There's so many things that Google tracks that won't be tracked through that rank tracker. So I would say, yes, as far as mobile, it's very difficult unless we can adapt that tool, which was my thought is, oh my God, this guy, this software, this easy local cache software can go to latitude and longitude. So now if we could get software to do that, then you could get accurate rankings, right? Especially local and especially mobile. But how many would you have to do? Because every time you move latitude and longitude, right? Every time you move like 100 feet or 100 meters, it's different. And so it's so difficult to do. Don't rely on that anymore. What you rely on is results. Are you making the phone ring? Are you making people visit the website and fill out that form? Are people asking for directions? These are all things that are readily available in the Google My Business ecosystem. And not only that, if you're using the business site inside there, Google will tell you how many visits the business site has had, like we've seen with Mario. So it's an additional what do you call it? It's an additional metric that you can show that you're actually getting visitors to the website and what actions those visitors took. Because I know that Mario got calls from the website.
Yep. Oh yeah. Well, because that if you show if we go look at the GMB, where the hell is it? Right there.
The website.
Yeah, I was looking for G. But yeah, you can see in the last 30 days, 273 people have visited the site, right? Or is that 30 days or no? We don't know if that's 30 days or not, do we?
No, we don't know. It's just what Google is telling us.
Okay. Yeah. So this goes to show you the type of activity that you'll see. So it's cool because again, you could click on this and it gives you discover, like tells you what kind of metrics, kind of activity you're getting direct from this website, guys. This is saying this website had 597 views from 273 visitors, and had just this website alone got 9 click to calls. Does that make sense? So, all right, guys, we're going to go through a couple. Oh, by the way, we're going to try to wrap these questions up. We're past the hour mark. I'd like to wrap this up in the next few minutes if possible, but I just wanted to point out, if you were to buy RYS Academy Reloaded on its own, it's $4,000. So we talked about local PR Pro, $800. Local GMB Pro, $1,000. That's $1,800. And then RYS Academy Reloaded, $4,000. So that's $5,800. In case you guys aren't aware, the offer for today was this. I got both of the links over here in case you guys hadn't already clicked on those. This is the 4th of July bundle, what we're calling the Powerhouse combo, excuse me. That's what I was looking for. And we're charging $3,000 for it. So you're getting it basically half price, guys, to get all 3 of them. And anybody that's doing any sort of local, I know there were some questions about national. In a minute, we'll talk about that. But specifically, guys, this is exactly how I'm getting results. The 3 of these things together. I'm sorry, you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. Well, these 3 things together are pretty much all that I need right now. To, there's no 3-pack that I can't break into at this point, right? And again, these are just 3 things that we can do that, like, I'm still selling my clients on syndication networks and content marketing services and all that kind of stuff. But like, for example, I just, and I saw another question. I think it was from Robin. She was asking about what is Chad Kimball's software. It's a free software. If you guys download it, you have to opt in, I think it is, to download it or whatever. You're going to get on his emailing list, and he's going to email you a bunch of emails to try to get you to schedule a call, a coaching call, to get into his MAPS training software. I can say I've taken Chad Kimball's training in the past. It's good training. A lot of it's black hat stuff, but it doesn't matter. I don't care whether it's black hat or not, just so you guys know. None of that makes any difference to me. And it's good training. I have not been through his current training, so I don't know how good it is. I'm sure it's probably really good. He's got but I'm just letting you know, you can download the software and use it for free. I'm sharing that offer with you guys because I'm using the software right now to identify, basically, and a lot of, by the way, Robin, a lot of lead scrapers will give you some of the same information. For example, I use Lead Kahuna as my lead scraper. And I could do the same thing with Lead Kahuna that I could do with Chad software. The difference is it'll take Lead Kahuna 40 minutes to spit out the results. It takes Chad software, because Lead Kahuna returns so much additional data, stuff that I don't need, right? And so instead of running something for 40 minutes to get data that I could have in 3 minutes, I'd rather just have it in 3 minutes and just the pertinent information, which in this case is there a GMB listed in the top 10 results in proximity, but based upon prominence from the location that you set via latitude and longitude in the software. It will show you the top 10 results in maps for according to that particular coordinate, right? And then it will show you whether any of the GMBs that are in the top 10 are unverified, if they don't have websites, that kind of stuff. So you can quickly identify where you can go in and use the local GMB Pro method, for example, and the local PR Pro method combined to snipe into the 3-pack very, very quickly with minimal effort. And I've already started for my tree service lead gen business. I've already started using that to identify areas that I'm going to, like, in fact, on Saturday, I went and drove about 90 minutes to go pick up another or register another PO box, so that I could start another tree service lead gen site in that area, because I found one that 2 out of the top 5 are non-verified GMB profiles that are in 2 of the top 5 listings. So I know I can get in there really quickly with minimal amount of effort using these methods. So that's why I shared that with you guys, because you can take that, and again, it doesn't have to be his software, guys. A lot of lead gen softwares or lead scrapers will do that. Just pick one, guys. It doesn't matter. Just pick one. But just go out and find stuff that you can apply these methods to and immediately gain traction. I mean, here's the thing. You could find pretty much any sort of business. I always recommend service area businesses, guys, especially if you're going to be registering like PO boxes for your verified address, right? You want to do service area businesses so that you can hide the business address once you verified your listing, right? You don't want people going to a post office. You want instead, like I do it for plumbers and tree services and stuff like that. But my point is, you can find service area businesses that you're even in industries. I recommend you always niche down, target one vertical, but you could find other stuff in other verticals that would be easy picking, so to speak, to go work your way into a 3-pack just using a couple of these methods by just going and verifying a Google My Business profile for that particular keyword in that area. And then you could back the client into it. Or so you could rent it out, sell leads, lease it on a flat fee, do a hybrid model where you do an equity share. There's a number of ways you can monetize these things. But the point is go out and stake your claim. Go claim as many freaking GMB listings as you can, right? And then you can turn around and sell them or lease them or do whatever you want to do. So anyways, any discount to purchase RYS right now? As part of the bundle, yeah, you can get the full bundle for less than you can buy RYS Reloaded on its own. So, John, there's your answer. Can you get it at a discount right now? Yes, you can buy RYS Reloaded on its own for $4,000, or you can buy the full bundle with local GMB Pro and local PR Pro for $3,000. So that's your discount, $1,000 plus 2 big bonuses. Okay.
Robin had a few questions before that.
Oh, did I miss that? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, this one. I'm sorry. I missed that one. Oh, that one too. Sorry, Robin. Can you add call tracking as an additional phone number for the business? Well, I know you can add it in the GMB dashboard, but I don't know the NI citation cleanup. I would, you know, your citations are going to list name, address, and the registered phone. If you're going to change to a tracking phone number, I would recommend that you would have all your citations updated as well, because you can add an additional phone in the GMB info, like the GMB dashboard, when you're editing the info for your business. But that doesn't mean that your citation should list that number, right? You want consistency wherever your name, address, and phone number is published. So if you're going to use a tracking number as part of your NAP, then I would recommend that you do a citation cleanup. Okay.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I know that Rob has tried this and I've done it. Is just add the tracking number as the primary, keep the client's number as the second. Google will only display one, but it knows that the other one exists, so you don't have NAP conflicts.
Yeah, you could do that too. I haven't tested it, so if Marco and Rob have, then I'd say absolutely believe them. I personally have not tested that, so that's why I didn't use that. Give that as an example.
No, and we've also heard from other people in the group that says that there are no issues doing that.
Well, that's awesome. Anyone tested RYS stack direct to GMB site alone? No, I don't know. I'm not going to say nobody has. I know I haven't. I've still only done the RYS drive stacks to the money site and the Google site associated with the drive stack. That's an add-on. I don't buy drive stack without a Google site add-on. So typically mine all point to money site, the G Maps listing, the Google Maps listing, and in the the Google site that's part of the drive stack. Those are like my 3 target URLs. I have not done it direct to a GMB website. However, I probably will. Like I said, I just started over the weekend, started setting up some new lead gen properties. And so I'll have a few that I can test different methods on, and I'll probably test that, Robin. I was going to ask you if you tested it, Marco.
Well, we delivered Mario's drive stack last week.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So there is a drive stack, but they always have a G site. We always build a G site because they have ranking power. G sites rank and they push power, and so you don't want to leave that out. You don't want to leave the G site out of the equation. You want to include your GMB, right? I mean that should be part of it. You should be linking over to that. I mean, but our VAs take care of all of that, Robin. Yeah. I mean, we do it all. They know what to do.
And I wanted to just point out this. I pulled this up earlier and then I got sidetracked. But this is the CrossFit gym that I'm part owner of now. I coach there as well. But you can see that I've got our competitor. We've only got one competitor in this town, and that's CrossFit Culpeper, and that's their actual name. So like they've got an advantage because their brand name is the primary keyword. So it's I haven't really been able to outrank them as far as like maps pack and stuff. But what I wanted to point out was, as you can see, I'm still doing very well for the various search terms for CrossFit stuff for my town of Culpeper. So More Boxing, that's the main website. We're co-located inside of that gym, but you can see like there's our CrossFit page inside the Boxing Gym website. You can see that we've got, this is our lead gen. This is our AdWords lead gen page, and it's still ranked on page 1 for organic, right? And this is literally my AdWords page, the same that's linked up here in this ad, right? Then, so we've got, multiple listings. And if you take a look, what are these, guys? This is a sites.google.com. That's part of the drive. I think I've got 2 drive stacks for this site, actually. There's this is the spreadsheet, Google spreadsheet. This is another spreadsheet or an inner page of the spreadsheet, right? So that's just one keyword. If we take a look at some of the other keywords, CrossFit training instead of CrossFit gym, same thing. We scroll down here. We've got multiple listings on page 1. We've got multiple Google Drive files showing up, SlideShare, spreadsheets, Google Sites. You guys see that? Again, same thing. CrossFit classes, Culpepper, same thing. We've got, Maps Pack. We've got web properties listed, lead gen, AdWords funnel listed, and then we've got multiple drive stack folders listed, or excuse me, drive files showing up. So that's what I'm saying. The RYS Reloaded stuff, guys, it really does work. I mean, shit, we go back just to this again, like the SEO terms. I'm just dominant. I'm just crushing it. And I have been since May of 2016, right here, May of 2015. So over 3 years without having to do a damn thing different, guys. I haven't updated any of that stuff in 3 years, period. It's still there. Imagine that. Think about that. One-page websites, guys. One-page websites. No blog, no content marketing, no backlinks, none of that. Boom. All the other agencies and SEO agencies in Virginia have been like staring at this going, how the fuck has he done this? Well, come join Semantic Mastery. You'll find out, And
that just goes to show that there is a workaround. Instead of writing 7,000, 8,000 word pages, you could just do what we do in RYS Reloaded and rank.
Yep. All right. Any training for national search terms? Mike, Marco, I'll let you take that one.
RYS Reloaded, it depends on how you look at your national. I always tell people, if you look at your national city, well, your local is a city, or your neighborhood, well, that's your local. If the county is your local, well, there you go. If the state is your local, if the country is your local, I just look at it as what my area is, the area where I want to rank. Not necessarily, I don't think of it global. I like to break it down into piece by piece and then take it over piece by piece. It's how Mason went after the house buying market, right, and just started killing it.
Yeah. So that answers the next question. Is this only for local? Can it work for state and nationwide too? It is. It's just it's a bit of a different way that you would set up. It's similar to, if you're building out a local siloed site versus a national siloed site, right? You guys, it's a different strategy. The methods are still the same. It's just a different way to set it up, and also usually national terms require more off-page effort. I assume that would be the case in here too as well, but I don't know because I typically just target local terms. So, okay. Well, guys, we're going to keep moving. As soon as we get to the top of these questions, we're going to wrap it up. Again, the offer, guys, is if on either one of these buttons here. We're also going to be mailing this out. So it's going to be a short time that this will be open, but we just wanted to kind of roll this out, guys, because, we're really focusing now on local more than anything as Semantic Mastery. And this is just anybody that is doing local stuff, guys. Like I'm telling you, this is the 3-punch combo that'll get you results time and time again, right? And that's the thing, guys. Like I know a lot of people are in this business that have intermittent results. In other words, they're not consistent. They can get results sometimes, other times they struggle, and that shows in your confidence level suffers. And when you're trying to pitch your services to clients, prospects, like it really helps to be confident to know that you can absolutely get them results. And if they're not interested, next, right, go to the next one, because you already know that you can achieve results. But when you're not 100% sure, it's easy to that comes through in your voice, right? It comes through in your presentation, in your pitch. And I think that a lot of people have trouble because they don't. And I know even in my own career, guys, I'm not going to lie. There's been times in my career where I've questioned whether I was going to be able to get results for a proposal that I sent out, right? But this is one of those types of things where like these three methods right now combined, there's no 3-pack that I can't break into. There's no business that I can't improve and increase number of leads through phone calls, web clicks, all of that using these 3 methods, right? And so it's just one of them things where it's like, hey, if you want absolute certainty that you can get results for your own projects, your client projects, your lead gen projects, then this is an investment worth making, right? Or you can go buy the next JVZoo thing and, you know, super software with push button, you're going to get rich overnight. You could do that too. And then come back in a week and let us know how rich you are. Paul says, Marco, in the case of your attorney, where you don't have a website or syndication network, do you optimize your post with your keyword and category?
I'm not going to answer that. We came up with a proprietary method on how to target this. On something that nobody, most of the stuff that's in here is shit that nobody else is doing, guys. And if you hear about it, it came from us. It's because they went in and they swiped it from us. This training that's in here says this is so brand new. It's ours. It's ours. What we're doing in there is ours. The guys who are in there can tell you how well it works. I mean, go in the buy it, go in the Facebook group and say, hey, who's getting results, and see who chimes in. There's a bunch of people that are simply killing it. Now, I am not going to do those people a disservice by giving away something that they paid for free. Sorry, but I can't do that.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Rick, I purchased everything except RYS Reloaded. What is the 4th of July special on just RYS Reloaded? There's not, Rick. Unfortunately, that is the special is what you see on the page. It's $1,000 less right now if you buy the bundle than it is if you were to buy it separately. If you were to join the mastermind, Rick, which I know you canceled recently, I'm sorry to see you go, but you could get a 30% discount, which means you'd get $1,200 off of RYS Reloaded alone, which would bring it down to what, $2,800. So that'd be a little bit less than if you were to buy the bundle. I don't know if we would do anything. I'd have to chat with my partners about those of you that already have local GMB Pro and local PR Pro. If we could do something on just an RYS Academy Reloaded special for those that like you, Rick, it might be something we can do. We have a corporate meeting tomorrow. We always do on Tuesday. It might be something that we talk about as a 4th of July. Like, hey, those of you that have those, here's a special deal on RYS Reloaded. I'm not promising that, Rick. But Marco, if you don't mind, make a note of that. We will bring that up during the meeting tomorrow and take a vote on it.
All right.
See if we can't do something for people like in Rick's situation. It would make sense to do that, but I can't promise that, Rick. Okay. Bobby, I spoke to Bobby today via Skype call. So Bobby, what's up? Yeah, actually, Bobby, you should already be sorted through support, which is what I told you to do. There is not a local GMB Pro, local PR bundle, but what there is the local GMB Pro funnel, which the local PR Pro is an upsell or a one-time offer. You can get a really good deal on that. So if you just wanted those two products instead of RYS Reloaded as the bundle, then your best bet is to follow the instructions that I know we provided in support, which is to go through the local GMB Pro funnel and purchase the local PR Pro upsell. If that's the cheapest way to get those two products together, unless you buy them as a bundle with RYS Reloaded. But I know we spoke on the phone earlier, Bobby, and as I mentioned before, if you think that you want to pursue RYS Academy as well, then now would be a good time to do it. But as I mentioned to you before, like I said, it's going to be like a fire hose of information anyways. So you could always implement what local PR Pro and local GMB Pro together. And then once you have that, you've turned that in or added those processes into your business, then join RYS Academy Reloaded. I'm not trying to prevent you from buying. Don't get me wrong. I'm just telling you, based upon our conversation earlier, like I said, those 3 courses, guys, will take you, over here. It's going to take you a long time to go through all this stuff. There's no doubt, and implement. So that's why I recommend local PR Pro, local GMB Pro to start, because you can get stuff right away, like start getting traction immediately as you're going through the RYS stuff and learning that, or putting an employee or a virtual assistant through the training instead. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, that's awesome, Rob. That's what Rob was showing me last week, because he was like, hey, I need you to search from your IP these keywords. And they were like the broadest short tail keywords you could possibly think of, like seriously, in this industry that we're talking about. And it was like, it's crazy because he ranks #1 for both. Keep client as second, and I saw no issues with citations. Okay, that's cool. He's talking about the phone number thing again. Okay, guys, we're out of questions. We've been here for almost an hour and a half. I want to wrap it up. Once again, the offer, guys, it's $3 grand right now for all of the products together. Where the hell did it go? Over here somewhere. There it is. So that's local GMB Pro, local PR Pro, and RYS Reloaded. And this is, I don't know how long we're going to keep this open, but it's not going to be for long. So buy it if you think you guys are doing local. If it's something you guys are doing for client work, I mean, it's an investment that you should make, period. End of story. I know a lot of you already have some of these. Like I said, we'll see what we can do for you guys tomorrow, Rick, we'll reach back out once I have a decision. Okay. Mark, you want to add anything before we wrap it up?
Yeah, what I want to add is that you can go search for other information, for other courses, get incomplete information, and be totally dissatisfied, or come get something that's working right now. You go in, you apply it, and the shit works because you see it. You see it in the IT sites, you see it in the metrics, you see it directly in rankings, you see it in 3-pack when you apply local PR Pro. The shit just works. I mean, and that's what we do. Semantic Mastery is known for producing shit that works. And as Bradley said, it's an investment. Don't look at this as an expense. Oh my God, you know, I'm gonna waste this money. It's what you usually do when you throw it at the WSO of the day, Warrior Forum, and all this other bullshit that you get thrown at you every day, or you get something that has a proven track record, guys. What else is out there that's still working? That started in 2014, by the way, May 2015, as Bradley showed in his case study, and is working just as well today. You tell me what in this business is still doing that? And it's RYS Reloaded. RYS, Rank Your Shit Academy, Rank Your Shit Academy Reloaded, plus now all of the methods that we're adding to make it even more powerful.
Yep. And remember, guys, I mean, you could buy this for your own business and apply this to your own business, because when you're prospecting and you're pitching clients, right, or pitching prospects, you could always point to your own. Say, like, I mean, for example, I use Big Bamboo Marketing all the time. Say, look, go search SEO agency Virginia. I outrank all the other SEO agencies in Virginia. So, Mr. Virginia business owner, or Ms. Virginia business owner, who do you think's probably going to be able to help you to outrank your competitors, right? I mean, again, it's just one of those things that apply it to your own. I'm not saying that the Big Bamboo Marketing G site is beautiful. It's not. It looks like shit. But I've been afraid to mess with it and try to change it for conversions because it's been ranking so well. So, and I just use it as an example anyways. So anyways, guys, go check it out. Hopefully you'll come join us. If not, we'll see you on Wednesday for Hump Day Hangouts anyways, right? So see y'all on Wednesday at 4 p.m. Thanks.
No, tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. Tomorrow, because it's a holiday on Wednesday. Okay. Well, we'll see you guys tomorrow then. Bye. Thanks, Marco.
Yep.